Hey Internet, it's Matt here for Dorks on Sports. Those of you who watch the channel know that one of my passions is Lord of the Rings. Well, my other niche passion, soccer. Once every 4 years, it's the World Cup, and the World Cup is coming back around tomorrow. So I thought I'd get my predictions in before the whole thing starts. Here we go. Of course, the U.S. not in the World Cup this year. Horrible time when they lost to Trinidad and Tobago. It was just devastating. Although news on that though, they just as of today, the World Cup's coming back to the U.S. in 2026, so they're guaranteed to make it that year. They found a way to qualify without qualifying, so that's cool news for many years from now. But for this year, here we go. I'm just going to do my round one predictions and give you a favorite, maybe a dark horse, and we'll leave it at that. So, on the record, boom. Start with Group A. All right, Group A, you got Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Uruguay. All right. Russia is not a very strong team, but they're the home team. Home teams traditionally do well in the World Cup. You got that home field advantage. Saudi Arabia is just happy to be there. They are perhaps one of the worst teams in the World Cup at this point. Egypt could be a spoiler in this group. A lot depends on Mohamed Salah. He's an amazing forward, played for Liverpool this year, but got hurt in the Champions League final. He's trying to make his way back. Their whole offense relies on him. So if he's out, Egypt is in real trouble. So Uruguay has a very solid team, very strong offense, and they should win this group. Uruguay first in the group, and I'm going to go with Russia with that home field advantage, eking out second place over Egypt. We move on to Group B. Group B, you got Portugal, Spain, Morocco, and Iran. Okay, actually this leads to one of the best games of the first round, and it's right in the first weekend. It's Portugal versus Spain. You got stars galore on the field right there. You got Ronaldo playing. You've got basically the entire Real Madrid teams hanging out on the field. So there's a lot of talent on that field. And I do feel like Portugal and Spain are the two teams that are coming out of this group. You just can't. You'd be a fool to bet against either one of those teams. If there's a team that's going to spoil it, it's going to be Morocco. I don't think Iran is going to make any kind of a run in this tournament. So we go. I'm going to say Spain wins the group. Portugal finishes second. Portugal's a little bit old coming into this tournament. I think over time, their age is going to catch up to them as the tournament goes on, but they should get through the first round. We got Group C. Group C, France, Australia, Peru, and Denmark. On paper, France is loaded. The team is amazing. However, I did watch them play in their final tune-up game against the U.S. Looked less than impressive, especially in the offensive third. They may have a tough time scoring some goals in this tournament, because I think the U.S. showed a blueprint for how to get a result against France. So I think they've got plenty to get through this group, but I don't see them winning the whole thing, despite the amount of talent they've got. But I do see France finishing first in this group, and I think Denmark will finish second. One of their talisman players, Eriksen, plays in midfield, plays for Tottenham. I always keep him on my fantasy team because the guy scores goals, not just from the field, but also he takes free kicks. He's been known to take a penalty kick or two, although with Tottenham, it's Harry Kane. But as he goes, so goes the team, and I feel like he will give them a spark to get them through this round. France finishes first, Denmark second in Group C. Group D, Argentina, Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria. This is a tough group. There's no gimmies in this particular group. The class of the group would be Argentina. You've got Messi in probably his final World Cup, so kind of his going away party, and just all kinds of stars on that Argentina team. But the other teams in this group are not slouches. Iceland has done well recently in the Euros. Croatia, strong team. Luka Modric. They've got some really talented players playing for Croatia, and Nigeria also not a slouch. You could imagine any of these teams finishing second. I'm going to go with Croatia. I think they've got some good experience and some good talent to get them through this group. So Argentina finishes first. Croatia finishes second in Group D. Group E, Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, Serbia. Okay, Brazil's got talent for days. They have 2 complete teams worth of stars. They will get through this group. I will go out on a limb and say there is no way they don't get through this group. Now, will they finish first? Maybe not. Whatever. I think they will. They're going to finish first in Group E. So of the 3 teams left, I think Serbia is also, I'm going to just spoil my dark horse. Serbia is a dark horse for me. They've got, first of all, they're giants. That doesn't necessarily mean you do that well in soccer, but all of their players, I think, are over 6 feet tall. It's the land of the giants. They've got, in their midfield especially, is great. They've got Matic, who plays for Manchester United, used to play for Chelsea. They've got Milajevic, who plays for Crystal Palace. Another guy on my fantasy team, by the way. Good value in the English Premier League fantasy. And then they've got Savic, who plays in Italy. I believe he plays for Lazio. Anyway, very good team. Plus, they have a lot of youngsters from the Serbian team that won the U21 World Cup. This team, I think, is going to get through second place in this group to Brazil. So yeah, Switzerland could mount a challenge, but I feel like it's Brazil, Serbia, Group E. Group F, Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and South Korea. I'd make the argument that this could be the group of death. It's got Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and South Korea all have legit chances to progress in the tournament. So it's, kill or be killed in this group. Germany, spoiler alert again, is my favorite to win the whole thing. Either Germany or Brazil is going to take this thing. And I'm going with Germany. Partially as a homer pick because I grew up there. I was there when the World Cup came in 1974. So I'm a Germany guy all the way. And I think they're gonna win this group and win the whole tournament. So who comes in second from a list of very respectable alternates? I'm going to go with Sweden. Sweden does not have Zlatan Ibrahimovic, unfortunately for them, but they do have a cast of no-names that have worked well together as a team. They're the team that kept Italy out of this tournament. So they're seasoned, they're tested, and I think they've got enough to get through this round. I could see them bowing out in the second round, but I think they're going to finish second in this group, which leaves Mexico and South Korea on the outside looking in. Now we take it to Group G. Belgium, Panama, Tunisia, and England. Belgium is another team that on paper is incredible. It's a who's who of the Premier League. I call them a dark horse, but they look so good on paper, it's hard to call them a dark horse. They're a dark horse because Belgium has never won the World Cup. But if you just looked at it on paper and in this moment, this team, you would laugh to call them a dark horse. You got Hazard, you got Lukaku, you got Courtois, you got De Bruyne. As I say, it's an all-star team from the Premier League. And the all-stars from the Premier League that are not on Belgium are on England. So, for instance, Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy are right up top. Maybe the best forward tandem that England's had in a long, long time. So, unfortunately for Panama and Tunisia, they're in a group with 2 very talented teams. I think Belgium wins the group, and I think England finishes second in this group. And if you've been keeping track, that means Panama, Mexico, and Costa Rica. I don't have any of them going to the second round. I think CONCACAF gets CONCACAF'd and does not have a team in the second round, unfortunately. So that's kind of the way that goes. We're up to one last group, and that is Group H. And that's Poland, Senegal, Colombia, and Japan. And this is where I'm going against chalk. I don't think Poland deserves to be a seeded team. Now, they have Robert Lewandowski up front. He's Bayern forward. He's an amazing forward. I agree. The guy maybe is the best forward in the world. So that's going to get them something. But I'm going to say they're not going to be able to win this group. I think it's Senegal. I think Senegal comes through, wins this group. And I think Colombia is going to edge Poland. Maybe if it's even something that comes down to goal difference or something to get through this group. So it's Senegal first, Colombia second. That's my groups, Group A through H. As I say, my favorite to win the whole thing is Germany. My actual dark horse is Serbia. And my dark horse, only because they haven't won it before, would be Belgium. Thanks, everybody. That's Dorks on Sports. I'll be back after the first round to talk about second round matchups. Hopefully I'll be able to bring my buddy Danny in. We tried to hook up to chat about these predictions. Unfortunately, the connection didn't quite work out, but we'll get it fixed for round 2. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.